Water is fine.
Just for you, Robbie. Because of the days. Never even thought about it that way. Anyway, just know I had that. Oh,
Hey, Sean. Grant. All right.
want to figure out what to do. That used to be my seat. And then now I have to be over here. You can talk, we'll let you talk.
Hold all day.
I used to sit over there. Now I have to sit and I need a better chair. Okay. I've been fixing computers today.
Read your email. Look through the building, cut any cord that I see laying across the floor.
I mean, I could show you pictures that you have.
No, I don't. No, I know what you're getting at. Yeah. Yeah.
Now I get it.
I understand.
But, no. And it's always a rule, but I have to put out this year, there's some new people. They probably don't know. I think somebody said the high school is going to be at 25.
I knew it was
And there's another one, like there's another one, making an interview on there. I just said, It might be 26 down there.
It's a reasonable correction.
It's, I'm not happy here, maybe I'll be happy somewhere else, but I probably won't be happy somewhere else.
I resigned to that. Here just the last month or two, so. I'm down to one hand, so, you know.
Huh?
I'm down to one hand.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You all should have called each other. That's okay. We, Angie was good, and Matt can go. Carrie and Henry.
All right, we would like to, go ahead and, like to welcome everybody tonight. This is a special board meeting for the Rockcastle County Board of Education, only because we're on a different date this month. But due to that, there can be no changes in our agenda, just the things that we have here. We have, new faces, but not so new, so, I'm sure we'll hear about that later. But I would like to call the meeting to order. The first thing on our agenda is a moment of silent prayer. Amen. Let the minutes note that all board members are present tonight. Item 1C is reading of board team commitments. So you wanna volunteer to read those?
Do you have a pull that?
Give
They're
them
right here, yeah.
Sorry, Carrie, you got it for nothing. I was gonna read them, but.
Board team commitments for Rockcastle County Schools. To improve our effectiveness, the board team of Rockcastle County Schools commits to review processes and experiences to identify and direct improvements, continuously define and work toward long-term goals which serve all students of the district, make each decision based on facts and the best for all students, listen to each other and speak freely, work together, support each other, and not surprise one another, discuss board deliberations to point of mutually agreeable resolution based on factual information, support the majority's decision, projecting board unity toward shared goals for continuously improving district-wide student learning, operate without personal or political agendas, respect one another, agree to disagree respectfully, delegate implementation to superintendent and education team, and to respectfully remind each other of these commitments.
Thank you, Ms. Item 2 is adopt the agenda. We cannot make any changes, so I need a motion to move on that.
So moved.
Second.
First and a second, all in favor? Item 3 is public comments. We do not have anything planned for that tonight, so we will move right on to item 4 is operations and actions. Does anyone have any questions? Everything that I looked, it looked pretty much,
Could you all just explain option 6 really quickly to me?
Mr. Phillips.
What would you like to know about option 6?
Well, just give me the 10,000 foot view.
Okay. Option 6 is when someone already has a bachelor's degree and they don't necessarily have a teaching certificate. So they may have a degree in, say, biology. And so, but then they decide they would like to teach. So they would go to, like Cumberland's is a very popular thing. So they would get into the MAT program,
So it's
and then they get their teaching certificate that way. It's generally a 2-year process, but they can be, certified provisional certificate before they.
So what kind of support are we giving them out of the gate? Because I know in 2 years they're ready, but what kind of support are we giving them right now in the first few months? Because going from biology to biology teacher is a big.
Well, and that's one thing we discussed
Yeah,
today is,
about that.
Like for example, Southeast South Central has new teacher cadre, in which they discuss things like classroom management, how to deal with angry parents, and how to use your time management effectively. They have a wide variety of things. That's one way. We've been sending new teachers down there. We've also done it with special ed teachers, and those are specifically for special ed teachers. Some of them are generalized, but some of them are specific. And then we're gonna do, in our district, we're gonna do another one just as specific needs for our district. Like we're gonna have a meet and greet day, just because we have so many employees. And we're gonna have, you know, things like forms that they need to know on the website, those types of things. I've talked to Brandon about doing an infinite campus for some of those that are not familiar with that.
I think that's good. I just think, when I looked at the list, it seems like there's more on there. You know, I think there's more than there was last year, and I just think it's a big jump from having a degree in biology to being a biology teacher. And so I just wanna make sure we're providing the right supports and the help, because we want them to be successful and be with us a long time.
Do we have a board policy in place that states, okay, say we hired them under this provision and in 2 years' time they've not completed what they need to, what do we have to protect us as far as?
It's not necessarily a board policy, but it's through the standards board.
Okay.
So they're
And I
only
think that's
given
happened
their,
before.
yeah, they're only given their certificates as they progress through. So then if they do not achieve a benchmark or they don't finish, then we're no longer legally able to employ them.
Okay.
So that takes it out of our hands.
Yeah, it's
Takes
really,
it out
it's
of
just
our-
out of the
okay.
standards
Okay,
board.
sure.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was something that
Mhm.
required a new policy or anything like that in place, okay.
The standards board handles all of that.
Okay.
And another addition, the Southeast South Central Co-op also provides a mentor.
Right.
Free of
for-
charge to us.
Yeah, that's
good.
part of our membership fee, so they provide a mentor that will work with all of these new teachers that we enroll in this.
Great.
And we thought it would be really, it's gonna be really important for us to also provide local support.
I think
Because.
so. I think tracking data on, data may be too strong a word, but as you go work through it, I think figuring out, because I think you're gonna see more and more people doing that route. But it's from my personal experience, the people who come in with teacher ed versus people who don't, it is a huge gap of knowledge and just experience, and so I don't want us to underestimate what 6 or 7 folks that don't have a teacher ed background. And I'm thrilled they're here and we need them. Thank goodness y'all got them and got a plan, but I just really wanna make sure they're successful and.
Can you hire, if you have an eligible candidate that has a teaching certificate, can you still hire someone that, I mean,
It's option 6, you can, if they have an
If-
option 6 letter from a university, they are equally as employable as someone who has been through a university.
And there are many options out there.
Yeah,
We have
there's
some more
like option
staff
7.
actually that are
Right.
going through option 9.
Yeah.
I was gonna
We
say
got a
option 9's the
partnership.
new one,
Y'all
right?
approved the
Yeah.
partnership back in the spring.
Mhm.
I think that's gonna be really beneficial, just because they're working in the schools and they're gonna get basically on the job training as well as the pedagogy and stuff through the university. So to me, that's more of a bonus
sure.
than anything else.
DKU has that same program, correct?
Mhm. Yes, we have agreements with University of Cumberland's and
And
EKU
EKU.
for option.
okay. Thank you, Mr. Brooks. Does anyone else have any questions for any of the items under operations and actions? If not, I need a motion to approve
Move to
operations.
approve.
Okay. Second. All in favor? Item 5A, review and approve the mileage reimbursement rate. Ms. Jenny?
Yes, we approve on an annual basis the mileage reimbursement rate, and, that has increased by 1 penny
Ooh.
over the prior year.
Inflation at its best, right there.
So, the state sends us those rates. Some districts do review that on a quarterly basis. We have always, set that as an annual rate.
Does anyone have any questions?
I move to approve the rate of 46 cents a mile.
A second.
All in favor? Item 5B, review and approve the monthly financial report. Ms. Jenny again.
Okay, our it's year in, and, year in, new year beginning. But, I did want to point out on our June financial report, it is typical, at the end of the year that you might see Fund 2 grants, that line item be higher. You know, we're closing out, the grant. In addition, we're processing those 3, June payrolls. You'll see our balance there for Fund 2, but I can also report that, of that balance, $2.2 million was deposited in the bank on July the 10th. That offsets that. So I just wanted to clarify. That's a big number there. I just wanted to share that our deposit has already been received from the state.
Is that I looked somewhere at seeing the FEMA money, is that the one that's been working on for a long time?
Mm-hmm. That does include, a little over $74,000 for FEMA.
Yay, Jen.
Okay, check is finally.
Did we get the full amount that you had requested?
We did not.
Okay.
We did file an appeal for a little over $119,000. Where that will go, that remains to be seen. We did file it, so it's in their hands to review. But we did receive some funds based on the hard work that all of our staff completed. And just being frugal with our dollars. And certainly maintenance, transportation, food service really carried a lot of effort in that endeavor, so we appreciate them.
Thank you, Ms. Jenny. If there's no questions, need a motion to approve the monthly financial reports.
If I could, I'm sorry.
That's okay, go ahead.
Ms. Jenny, on the food, I think it's food service, there's no, never mind. The number's not as big as I thought. It's a negative $1,400. I thought it was negative $14,000. My apologies. So it looks like it's actually close to budget. My apologies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and actually,
see.
I gave myself a heart attack the other day. If you look at our revenues and expenditures, so we close the fiscal year and we go into what is called period 13, so we have our months 1 through 12. We go into period 13, and that's where we do some of our final reconciliation. We have certain, transactions that have to be recorded by the state. One of those big things that happens during period 13 is, you'll see we budget for on behalf. And on behalf is, like health insurance, life insurance, those things that the state pays on behalf of our district. So if you look today, at the end of June, the difference between revenues and expenditures is over $7 million. And, sometimes you can just take a moment and be really tired and look at that number and think, oh my goodness, here, I'm going home. But, so we will record $7.5 million of on behalf expenditures during the month of period 13. So that will bring those revenues and expenditures up to even. So, and our budget will be, what we plan for it to be.
And you'll come back to work.
And I'll come back to work. I was really tired that day and it was like, oh my goodness. But that is the difference. The difference between revenues and expenditures as it sets today is the on behalf expenditure, and it's about $7.5 million that we'll record.
Any other questions for Ms. Jenny? No, we need a motion to approve her monthly financial reports.
I'll move to approve.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you, Ms. Jenny. Item 5C, review and approve the KSBA policy change draft for the contract renewal of superintendent. This will be the first reading. We will have to have 2 readings of this. And I'm assuming everyone has had a chance to read that. We pretty much just contradicted ourselves into separate paragraphs. So we are now, I believe Ms. Carey explained to me, we're now aligned with what other districts throughout the state
Yes,
says,
so
correct?
our board attorney contacted KSBA about this policy after following last month's meeting of discussion of renewal of my contract. And when we pulled the policy, the first paragraph and the second paragraph contradicted each other. So it's better just for us to clean this up and be transparent and have, a policy that's clear, not only for now, for years into the future.
Into the future, yes.
So we'll do the first reading this evening.
Okay, does anyone have any questions about this?
Move to approve.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor? Yep. Item 6, review the superintendent's personnel action report. It's nice and lengthy.
I think that's the longest one we've had in
To the positive.
a really long time. Yeah, it's great.
Um,
Love to see it.
I had a question. I'm just curious what positions we have posted right now.
I thought you might wanna know that. We have a special education teacher at Rockcastle County Middle School that is posted as itinerant. So they're able to help with caseloads all over the district as needed. Custodian job at the middle school. The high school has, Jobs for America's Graduate JAG position open there. We have a couple instructional assistant positions across the district, some assistant coaching positions. Primarily have filled all of our teaching positions except for a science teacher, and that is at the high school. We have not filled that yet, and then I'm working with the Roundstone Council to fill Mr. Bishop's position. At Roundstone, we have met once, the council and I, and we meet again tomorrow to review applicants tomorrow. So we'll be setting interviews for that position shortly. But teaching position wise, we have that special ed position, JAG position, and science teacher. And we've got everything else filled.
All right. Next, we have department reports. Did anyone want to share anything? Oh, come on now. Mr. Bishop, what do you have to share? Well, look at you. We expect at least a 30-minute speech at this time.
Not this month. I'm still getting my feet wet.
Yeah, but I would like to welcome Mr. Bishop. This is his first board meeting, sitting in a new chair and serving in a new role, and we're thrilled to have him join our team. And he's been busy trying to get caught up on all these trainings that he have done in X number of days after he's hired. So we haven't seen a lot of him yet. He's been working very hard on trying to finish up all those trainings. So
Well, welcome.
Thank you all.
Welcome.
And I also want to welcome Miss Jenny Ellis. Jenny is going to be helping us with board minutes, now that Miss Jennifer is no longer with us. So Jenny Ellis got roped into coming over and taking minutes for us.
Who'd you
so.
make mad?
We appreciate both of you very much.
Unfortunately, most of the meetings are not this short.
I'm aware of that.
We do want to welcome you all, though.
Trent, I know your report said the auction went well. Do you have a final number yet?
I do. I got it from Matt today. I figured y'all might wanna know. Let me
We'll
look it
act
up.
like we ask a lot of questions.
Been around. It's in the 15,000 range.
That's great.
wow.
That's really
Yeah, that was, you know, we never get much when we do sealed bids. I mean, it's just about give it away, beg somebody to come pick it up, but it went so well. Everything was picked up within a couple days. Do you still have that one bus?
We got one bus.
I think we still have one bus, but it's a circumstance that we need to accommodate. The final tally after expenses was we got, let me find it here, it's on the third page. $15,597.40.
Wow, that's awesome.
And was it much less of a headache for you all?
It was no headache.
That's great.
Yeah, it was great.
No,
It was great.
That's good.
The only thing, we had to keep some things in storage, out in the dry, you know, that were kinda in the way for a little while, but it wasn't that long, I mean, a couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks.
I think some people thought the middle school was for sale with the signs.
I'm
just kidding.
It crossed my mind. No, I'm kidding.
You know, they have the Ford signs.
They had the Ford signs out there.
Don't laugh at me too much.
Well, I'm glad that went well. Item 6, item 8, sorry, I can't see with my glasses or without them. Superintendent communication, Ms. Carey?
Yes, so We are just really gearing up to try to get ready for school to start. I know everybody, you think it's the middle of the summer, but as soon as July 4th is over, I mean, we are hitting it as hard as we can, trying to get ready. We do have planned our back-to-school staff PD, which we are calling the Rocket Lunch. We have expanded that this year for 2 days instead of 1 day, and we're going to offer both 2 different kinds of trainings. One that is choice, so each teacher can choose, each instructional assistant, they can choose what interests them, what are they interested in. I think we have about 33 presenters right now scheduled, still working on bringing some other people in. And then we're also going to be providing the required trainings on those days. So teachers and instructional assistants, all of our staff, bus drivers, food service, they'll be able to get those required trainings, suicide prevention, bloodborne pathogens, stop the bleed, all of those things, ethics, confidentiality. So it'll all be presented at one time. That'll allow our principals to spend those other PD days working on things specific to their school. So we're real excited about that. We ordered the t-shirts again at the end of the year. You all had yours. So we're requesting for staff to wear those on the first day. We'll have a guest speaker again like we did and be providing lunch. So we'd love for you all to come by at any point during either of those 2 days, or come stay the whole day, or come for lunch, or whatever suits your schedule. But we're really, really excited about that again. We're also planning on August the 15th at Rockcastle County High School. We are going to do an active shooter simulation. So we're going to make sure that our community is aware of that. We're going to do a lot of PR about that, a lot of media release. I'm going to go on Chatter That Matters tomorrow evening and try to talk about that. So we don't want anybody to be alarmed. We're working closely with Ryan Loudermilk at KSP and Joe Rush here in Mount Vernon and the Sheriff's Office and all of our fire departments, ambulance service, 911 to help us simulate that. That is not going to be a required PD day for teachers at the high school to participate. Mr. Russell is going to give them the option. If they want to come, they can come and be there, but all of our central office staff will be there and all of our principals will be there. And it's more of just a training to see, are we prepared? If something were to happen, would our plans work if we enacted them? So again, we don't want to traumatize anybody. We don't want to add undue stress to our teachers, but there's some that would want to participate. Mm-hmm. So we're going to give them that option if they want to be there. So again, that will be the 15th. We will be working with the Transportation Cabinet. We are actually going to shut the road down for just about 2 to 3 minutes to simulate buses leaving, going to our reenactment spot. So there will be a big production that day. So make sure that if you see us posting that on Facebook, share that. If you see it on the website, tell people, because we don't want anybody in our community to see that and be alarmed. So we're gonna, starting just this week, we'll start trying to get that word out. And again, that will be on August the 15th. So yeah, appreciate you all helping us get that information out. The key item one more thing. Again, this year, the KASA conference, we are doing a district retreat again. That will be the July 26th, 27th, and 28th. So everybody, all of our district office staff and all of our principals will be going. Our theme this year is going to be a year of traction. So we're working around that theme. We have a guest speaker, Mr. Greg Coker, that's going to be joining us for part of the day on the 26th. Working with our team on how do we move from our strategic plan, how do we move forward. So really excited about that, and I think everybody enjoyed it last year, and we got a lot of great training, and it's good. We'll have our board retreat day on the 26th, and then all day on the 27th, they can go to choice sections of the conference that they want, and then the 28th we'll wrap up, and we'll be back home after lunch on the 28th.
And where's that located?
It's in Louisville. Mm-hmm.
That's where it was last year too, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's in Louisville. It's very similar to the conference that you all go to, where you have the choice sessions, except you all have a lot of required. They don't have, this is just all centered around, they have it centered for elementary, middle, high, and different sessions. So looking forward to that. The last thing that I want to talk with you all about is our Rockcastle County Middle School construction project. We did, as we talked about on May the 25th, we had our, what is called bid day. And on that day, our bids came in at $55 million. And we all have discussed and know that our current bonding potential is right around 40 million. So after looking at that, we're $15 million short, basically, to build a new middle school. Very disappointing. Trent and I and Miss Jenny have spent the last 2 months since May the 25th trying to value engineer. We've looked at every possible scenario. We've looked at, well, what if we do this in phases? What if we cut this? What if we don't do any athletics? What if we don't do a gym? What if we don't do a track? What if we don't do a football field? What if? We've looked at every possible scenario. We've cut the project down to absolute bare bones where it is something that you would look at and really probably not be terribly proud of. And even with trying to do that, there's still a gap in our funding. That's not something that I want to move forward with. I want us, when we're able to build a middle school, I want it to be something that our whole community is proud of and something that our kids are proud of and something that our kids deserve. So I am suggesting to the board that we hold on this project until the January legislative session. So we're in the month of July. My request is we hold till January. Our middle school project is on a list to receive gap funding from the state legislature. There is no guarantee. However, being on that list really puts us in a key prime position to receive additional funding. We're working closely with Brandon Storm and closely with Josh Bray. You know, I'm talking to them every other day. Trent's talking to them all the time. And, you know, I've been to Frankfurt several times since May, trying to advocate for this. And I feel very positive that we're on the list. And it's a group effort with multiple school districts. So my suggestion, just to be fiscally responsible, I would never, and I've given you all my word, that I would never do anything to put this district in any kind of financial jeopardy. And I feel like waiting until we can receive additional funding is the responsible thing to do for our district.
So we'll be put on that list before the session even begins in January, correct?
The list is already generated and it is in the hands of decision makers. Yes, yes, it's already, yes. And so we have requested an additional $17 million in state funding.
But now, this was also the list that we were on this past session, is that correct? We had requested, I mean, I'm not trying to be negative,
It is.
but.
So this list was established, however, in this last short session, they did not open the budget. So there was no budgetary decisions made in that last session, so.
Well, they just come out today and said that there's been a really good end to their fiscal year, so hopefully, a very big surplus, so hopefully that'll be in our favor.
Yeah.
The only other question, when I talked to you earlier, I didn't think about this at that time, but it's come to my mind since then. So since the beginning of this project to the time the bids came in, it went up a considerable amount of money because of inflation costs.
Yes.
So I guess my question is, who's to say it does not go up another 15 million between now and January? At that.
So our construction manager has spoken with the companies that won the bids, and he has asked them to hold bids, hold that price. Now, they're not gonna hold them for 5 years.
Sure.
But, you know, for 6 months, you know, they'll hold that. Okay. So that'll give us some guarantee that it won't change.
I was just curious.
You know, no, that's exactly, and it, you know, there is no guarantee. I mean, there is a guarantee for that window of time, but beyond that, you know, we might have to rebid and see how we go.
Well, I personally would just encourage people in our community to reach out to our legislators. I mean, I hate to, maybe we should put their email on our website, I mean, and I hate to sound that way, but they are to speak on our behalf, and, you know, I don't have a problem with sending an email every day if need be.
And we all know the condition of the middle school, we all know the need, it's well known across the state, the need of our school, and of all the schools requesting funding, the condition of our school is in the top 1 or 2 of the worst in the state. And, you know, if we could come up with an additional $15 million, we would start tomorrow. It's just, the cost of inflation is just such that it's just it's really not a decision to be made. It's just like going to buy a car. You can't buy a car if you don't have the money. And so, again, do speak to to our legislators. They know and they're advocating for us, but the more of us that can do that will be helpful.
Is there any way we can generate like an automatic email that goes out, Brandon?
It's technically possible.
Make it like 3 times a day, you know, just constant.
Well, and I think our guys,
Yeah, I
would-
think
if
so.
they had the control, we have the money tomorrow. It's-
Exactly,
Yeah.
They
they're
gotta get
so supportive.
136 of their colleagues to go along with it, so.
Is
Send
there
them
a
out to all
committee
them.
email? Will there be a committee email for that? I mean, that might be the place to send
Mhm.
support
Yes.
versus just individual.
Yes, and they're working as hard as they can for us. I can't speak, I cannot speak highly enough of either, Brandon Storm or Josh Bray. I mean, they have been fighting for us the whole time as hard as they can fight, and so, and they're talking to their colleagues, just like you said, so even if you know senators or representatives outside of our area, you know, you can reach out to them as well.
Have you reached out to the middle school staff already?
Yes, Miss Jessica has done that. Of course, they're disappointed. We're all disappointed. But we also are charged with,
Mm-hmm. Well,
being
we are talking about.
responsible for our, the, you know, the.
Well, it's taxpayers'
It is,
dollars.
and we have to
Yes.
be wise, and the wise, as much as I don't want to, the wise decision is for us to be financially able to move forward and do it in a comfortable manner.
Yes, ma'am.
Patience is a virtue.
Yes, so.
We don't look like very virtuous people.
I don't wanna be.
Did you have anything else,
That's
Dr.
all that I
Bellinger?
have. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Board comments?
Well, thanks to everybody, Mr. Phillips especially, but for the good report on staffing, that we are not short, that we're in good shape. And I know Mr. Phillips has been recruiting and beating the bushes and twisting arms and whatever, so that's really, really good news to be that close to, what you said, one or two teacher positions.
Two teacher
Not
positions
filling in
right
July
now.
is really, really good, so we'll knock on wood and say great work to everybody.
No, just welcome, Mr. Bishop.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Round table. Otherwise, no.
I just wanted to commend, when I was reading the department reports and noticing how you leaders, you always give credit to not just yourself, but to others. And I think that comes from the top all the way down. You guys are always, you know, just like in your department, Trent, you were just bragging on the janitors and the floors, but everybody does that. And that's just great leadership. So I noticed that it's kind of across the board of what you guys do. And you guys are doing great with just security, and I love the vape thing and the bathrooms. Like you guys are always looking ahead. So for what it's worth, I'm just proud of you guys, if that matters. When I read it, so.
I don't have anything to add, just thank you all. I thank our district. We think of this as summer break, but this is when all the work behind the scenes is really happening also. I mean, and welcome, Mr. Bishop. And that's it.
Thank you all. Hope everyone's had a little bit of fun this summer before you start. I've seen a few vacation pictures, so I'm glad that you get to do that. Mr. Bishop, like I said, you know, it's kind of boring up here compared to all them little smiling faces, so I encourage you to go down there every day you can.
Oh, well, it'll be bittersweet for sure. But
Yeah, definitely, yeah. But I do appreciate all of you. Dr. Ballinger, I appreciate you. The whole idea about the middle school, it kind of, you know, it's kind of a bummer in a way. Mr. Trent, I know that it's very, after all of your hard work and stuff, but all good things come to those who wait. So, you know, who's to say that we will not receive the, funding we need plus some. And that second gymnasium auditorium. So, you know, maybe we're gonna get everything we wish for plus some, so I will look at it that way. With that being said, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Y'all have a great, great evening. Thank you.